What's up, guys, and welcome to another Hungover podcast, the topical podcast where you can find any topic from cute 4K bunnies and kittens in the background to politics, perhaps. Today, we're not going to be talking about politics, but I'm one of your hosts, Julien, alongside
Nikki.
Yes, Yvonne still is not back. What the fuck, man? When he hasn't talked to me in he might be dead.
2 months?
He might be dead. I haven't talked to one of my best friends in 2 months. And when that happens, you sort of feel like they're dead.
They might be dead.
And I think Yvonne might be dead, so Nikki took his place forever from now on. Right?
Yeah.
Not 2 months.
He left?
He left a sizable amount of content. So yeah. But we haven't talked to him in a good 2 months. I think he left in July.
Did he leave before
and it is now
or after you went to
September.
Hong Kong?
He left after. I don't know. He left at the end of July-ish. Mm-hmm. And it's almost 2 months now. Well, yeah, no, like the middle of July. That's when he left. Anyways, guys, I won't belabor the point. Yvonne might be dead, but he is the other co-host. Official
Yvonne.
Co-host. Nikki is filling in, thankfully. Thank you so much, Nikki.
You're welcome.
Of course, you can find this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and today on YouTube, we've got cute puppies and kittens and animals because we're going to be talking about childhood memories and childhood stories, perhaps crazy childhood stories. And we didn't want to put stock footage babies because that would be kind of weird. It's cute. But it also gets real weird real
Maybe
fast.
not this demographic.
It's not for us. But anyways, can you... Sorry.
Yeah.
The fan is a little annoying, I'm sorry. But...
I overheat, I apologize.
Yeah, she overheats. But anyways, you can find it in video form on YouTube. Of course, we have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/hungovergaming.
Lots of content.
Where we put up a lot of content. But you can go check it out yourself if you're interested, but you can also write an iTunes review on iTunes.
Oh, fuck.
Because
One
Nikki
of us
still hasn't, and I have. Big surprise.
Is that what's wrong? Is that why you're upset?
I've been upset all day, and I think you finally found out why. Please write an iTunes review on iTunes. Give us a 5-star review because that really helps with our visibility. Nikki, we start our podcast out every single week because we've gone on way too long. But this is what they've come to expect. By asking, what media have you been consuming? What media have you been consuming? Whether it be movies, books, TV shows, music, art? Have you seen any art recently? On the street, maybe? Anything cool? And then what did you drink?
Oh, we did walk by that really cool mural.
What did you drink last night?
What did I drink last night? You know what? I'm not going to talk about last night because I didn't drink last night because I had class today because I'm lame. But last weekend was my birthday, and oh boy, did we drink.
Did we? Oh yeah, we didn't, because it was your birthday. We didn't I was like, didn't we talk about that?
No.
I don't even know what we talk about on this podcast anymore, but keep going. We had a fun time.
Yeah, we went to Fire Island out in New
Yeah.
York. It was about 2.5 hours to get there. My boss is dope, and he picked us up from the train station and drove us out on his boat over to Fire Island. Gave
His
us some
yacht.
beer. It's not a. It's like
a yacht.
20-foot.
She has
boat.
a rich boss that has a yacht.
Stop.
Tell Steve to listen. Tell your boss to listen to this.
What's up? But yeah, so he
won't listen.
I don't know what he's into.
He's not bunnies, I'll tell you that much.
So we drove out to Fire Island.
For all the audio listeners, you're missing out on cute-ass animals.
Honestly, that's why I'm going to be giddy this whole time, because Julien moved the image so I can look at
Look at that cat.
It's so good. Oh my god, ducks.
Oh, ducks. Keep going.
Anyway, so yeah, he brought us out there with a cooler full of beer. One of my favorites is Sour Monkey, which is delicious. So I had a nice Sour Monkey to start my day.
That's how you started your day.
With a 9.5%
1
alcohol content beer. It was
it was 12 p.m.
It was 12.
Yeah.
It wasn't even 12:45. I could lie. It was like maybe 12:15. Started the day with a nice sick beer, my fave. Then we got to Fire Island after a really fun, intense boat ride.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a little chilly because it's starting to get cold.
Yeah,
because,
and you're on the water, and we were in the front of the boat because Steve was fucking with us.
Yeah.
And so So yeah, we got to Fire Island. Steve brought us over. My boss's name is Steve. That's all I'm going to tell you about him. And he brought us over to one of his favorite places on the island, and we had rum punches. So that was the immediate next thing we did. And
before
then,
eating. Yeah.
Yep. And then
we had 2 waffles at this point.
Yeah, we had 2 waffles and then 2 alcoholic drinks. Boom!
It's how you cancel it out.
When you're turning 28, which is how old I am, you have to do it big, okay?
Now they don't have to ask how old you are.
I'm just going to tell people I'm 28. I've accepted it. I can't change it, so whatever.
Change that. You're actually a little older than 28.
All right,
you know
Julien?
that? Couple days older.
Hey, fuck you, and look at that duck. Anyway.
That duck is cute. Oh my god.
This is good. Guys, as we drink more, this is going to get worse. So if you're not watching the video, maybe you should watch the video.
This duck is awesome. Oh my god.
Anyway, so we had some rum, and then we, Steve left, go hang out with his family, because he's an adult. And we had more beer, and then I think we had lunch. I had a delicious tuna sandwich.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Long Island, being an island, has a lot of seafood. They do a lot of fishing out on Long Island. I actually said it like god damn it. They're also home to some of the worst and best people on the planet.
I'm from Long Island.
I think Jerry Seinfeld is from Long Island. There are a lot of famous people from Long Island, famous celebrities in America from Long Island, because they grew up in a very nurturing community. It's the suburbs essentially, but they also had immediate access to New York City.
Right. So you get like the best of both.
So they're gonna be creative.
Yeah, exactly. You get that suburban school environment, but that urban like culture. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had some beer, had some tuna, played in the ocean, which was a big deal for me. Because water scares me. So I was in the ocean. Well-timed turtles.
Wow. 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 I'm impressed.
And then we walked over to another part of the Ocean Beach area, the Shack, and got some, I think they're called rocket fuels, which has rum and a bunch of other things in it. Steve did confirm, by the way, that those are $14 a piece drinks, so that guy did give me a free drink. Nice. I also told everyone it was my birthday all day and got free things.
Well, yeah, because, they're all...
It was literally my birthday, and I wasn't going to pretend it wasn't.
Yeah, well, you got to take advantage of what you got to do.
And then we went to McGuire's and had really good food, more drinks, more beer, got to have more beer. Got a ferry back to Long Island, but then had a very long delay before the Long Island Railroad would come and get us. So we went to a sweet train station bar.
Awesome.
Which, by the way, cool. Steve has been to. He said it's a great place.
Yeah,
so I told him to go back.
The bar's right there.
Yeah, go back and say your purple-haired coworker said this place is cool.
He won't remember, but yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. How many purple-haired girls in bathing suits come in there?
I don't know.
Exactly. So we went to the bar. I told the guy it was my birthday, and this older guy who claimed he worked at the bar was like, "Oh, it's your birthday?" He gave us shots, and then kept insisting that we take the pint glasses with us because I said they were cool.
Yeah, they were the Angry Orchard.
The ones that have the tree that you can feel. It's all raised on the outside.
Yeah.
So he literally put those in my bag because he said we needed to take them.
Happy birthday.
And when we
also shots,
yeah. So more beer, more shots. Although that was the only shot we did all day. Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, getting old. I can't be doing shots all the time.
And then, a Sunday?
Yeah. And then we actually were waiting on the train platform. It seemed like the train wasn't going to come, so we decided, oh, you know what? Let's go back to the bar, get another round, and then catch the train. But as soon as we decided that, the fucking train came. So we got on the train. I think we played some Mario Kart.
Yeah, on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, we played some Mario Kart on the Switch.
Wrecked you in that.
Yeah, well, sorry. I was very drunk.
Well, because I haven't played Mario Kart very drunk before.
Also, you wreck me every time except for that one time where
which will be coming up in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Watch out. Oh no, it's already out.
Is it?
By the time this comes out.
Yeah.
Holy shit, you guys gotta watch it.
I don't know how it was. Oh my God.
Epic Let's Play of Mario Kart 8 with
insane.
Nikki and Julien. It's a good time.
And then we got home, and that was pretty much the end of my birthday. I took the next day off because I had envisioned a hangover. I was right.
Wow.
And
Good for you.
But that's media I've been consuming is the same music and TV shows I've been talking about for the last few weeks because I am a redundant lady.
No, there's a lot to consume out there, and you want to watch it all.
Yeah.
All of what you were already watching.
Exactly.
You know?
Like we finished
time.
season 1 of Food Wars. It's amazing.
I thought, isn't that the end?
No, there's a season 2. Remember how I
okay.
fucked up and we watched the first episode of season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good episode.
It was a really good. I'm really excited for season 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, Food Wars is dope. You know, music-wise, is threw in some Linkin Park today because, you know, just feeling nostalgic. R.I.P. Chester. And, yeah, Julien, what have you been up to?
Yeah, well, I wanted to say Fire Island is a really cool island because it's only accessible by ferry.
No cars.
Or boat. And they don't allow any cars except for emergency vehicles on the island. So it's this really cool, sort of incredibly laid-back beach town that really only has people there pretty much partying also, but also only has people there during the summer days of the year, which, I mean, for America, that's obviously, or for New York State, it's around June to early
You get
September.
Memorial Day to Labor Day is pretty much when people are out there. Boats and stuff start pulling in.
And I assume, you can rent a place out there for Airbnb, I assume, pretty easily. And there are a lot of rich people there, too. But that's because Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island is expensive
Hamptons.
because you're so close to the city. So,
but I think there's it was kind of expensive to eat out there and drink out there, but it was a lot of fun. It's really laid back. I liked it a lot. We listened to some Latin music out there because they had a band at the Shack. That was really cool. Actually, they had a lot of people dancing, and everyone's in their bathing suits. Yeah, because it's right by the beach. And it's kind of bizarre because there's really no roads and there's no vehicles at all, except we saw a golf cart, I think.
Yeah, I didn't even see any emergency vehicles. It was weird.
No, but that's a really cool thing about it. You have to walk everywhere.
Bikes and walking.
And so all the roads are lined with either houses, and they're pretty narrow.
They're sidewalks.
Yeah, they're essentially sidewalks. So they're pretty narrow, and they're either lined with houses or just reeds. And I thought that, and they're either concrete or sand.
Yeah,
so
it was really cool.
Really cool place. I suggest you check it out if you are in the Long Island area.
Or visiting, or if you're ever, if you find yourself in
during
the
the
area.
Summer, of course.
Yeah, during the summer.
I think early fall is probably nice, too.
I think they're probably still going to be, like, hanging out open till maybe the, like, last few weeks of September, while it's still a little, like, warmish during the day with the sun.
Yeah, and of course, if you like to drink, it's a great place. It's like going on a beach resort and getting drunk.
Yeah.
You're going to have a good time. But yeah, so aside from all those drinks you mentioned, Fire Island, we were watching Food Wars. Food Wars is heating up. It's a good show. Really awesome show. I suggest we've said it 3 weeks in a row or 2 weeks in a row or so, maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. How many podcasts have you been on? 2?
I think it's the last.
This is the third one.
No, I've been on like 5, but the last like 3 or 4 we've definitely talked about.
You've been on 3. This is the third one. Or 4. This is the 4th one. Anyways, it's not 5. The point is, Nikki. Yeah, that's right. I do all the editing, so I know. Yvonne, I hope you're listening. Yeah. So what? All right,
you want
Yvonne,
me to edit
I hope you're
it's
listening,
gonna be a
dude.
Shit show.
I do all the editing.
Cat. It would literally. Just
I
be
do
that
all
cat.
the editing. All right, this is my channel now.
Anyway, now that Julien's lost it.
No. Wait. I wanted to say I've been
content.
playing, obviously, Tekken 7. I'm still getting good at that game. I'm still keeping my Asuka reign going. I finished my fight stick.
Do you want to show them the fight stick?
Yeah, show the fight stick to the people.
Yeah, pick it up. Show the people what you've been staining all over our apartment.
I've been working on this bad boy for a long time. I
Look
think
at
it
that
looks
wood
pretty
grain.
good. I think it looks pretty good in
finish
this
up
lighting.
here.
Go check out the video to see this one scene. But yeah, aside from that, I made a PS4 controller, essentially. That's pretty cool. And PC, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, aside from that, I played some Destiny 2 on PC, Nikki. Holy crap, this is a gaming channel, we gotta talk about it. So Destiny 2, man. I played around, I think I entered it once. There's a time wasted in destiny.com, and you enter your account in. And I played the first Destiny, and this is an embarrassing number, not because of how large it is, but actually because of how small it is in terms of the Destiny community. I played around 500 hours of that.
Only?
Only.
Oh my god, you were always playing Destiny.
And it really fucking shows, because I did not do the last raid that just came out. That came out last year. At the end, at the beginning, in September.
The beginning of the end?
Yeah, it was the beginning of the end for Destiny. And then, obviously, it sort of tapered out. I'm getting it both on PS4 and PC, so hit me up in those two areas. GGB's good. Link in description below. Or whatever. You know, that's my gamer tag across the board, so go, except for Xbox, but whatever. Check me out there. I would love to play, if we can get a clan, Hungover Gaming clan together. I think that would be really cool.
Have we decided that they're all clan? They're clan members? That sounds awful. You can't call them clan members.
They are all clan members. It's your clan in Destiny. I'm sorry, it's not the fucking KKK. I'm sorry. It's just a video gaming clan. Not everything is related to that.
There's the politics for those who are looking for it.
Jesus Christ.
And puppies, in case you wanted to calm down.
Puppies in the background. So you can join our Hungover Gaming clan and maybe convince Yvonne to actually get the fucking game so we can actually do some Destiny content. But I played the beta on PC. It just came out. We're recording this on the 1st of September, so it came out on last week. Holy crap, that game looks good on PC, Nikki. That is what I bought that graphics card for. I upgraded my PC, I guess, at the beginning of the summer in anticipation for making new videos and also playing and hopefully playing some awesome games in 4K and 60 FPS. I played it 4K 60 FPS, Nikki.
R.I.P. my wireless while you're playing.
That has nothing to do with the wireless internet.
I mean, when you're playing the games, the internet lags.
Well, sorry. The Destiny is where it's at.
Look, Nikki. I'll just tether my phone.
And luckily, I played with 3 of my friends, so we were killing in the Crucible. Kids are real good at that game already somehow, and I'm impressed.
Kids.
And I mean, the beta didn't have that much content in it, but we had a lot of fun playing it. And let me tell you the difference. So all the console players out there who think, oh, I probably shouldn't be getting the PC game, but I really like Destiny and all. Obviously stay where your friends are, because this game lives and dies on whether or not you have people to play with. But if you're an enthusiast of Destiny and you have the extra cash to upgrade your PC, or you already have a pretty good PC, I suggest you get it on PC as well, because playing this game in 60 FPS at least, you can obviously go 140, 150 if your PC's good enough, but playing this game with that fluidity is amazing. It felt so good. I really highly suggest it. So go check that out. I'll be playing Destiny 2. Check me out playing it. I'll be on Twitch and maybe on this channel too. Tell us in the comment section below if you want us to play Destiny 2 on this channel. If
you want me, without any instruction from Julien, to play any video game ever, you just leave that down below and you can watch me struggle.
Yeah, Nikki can play Destiny 2 also. Yep. That's complicated.
Yep.
You should do that. We might make a video when it comes out on October 24th for PC. So long from now. Comes out on the 6th for PS4. What was it?
So I had class tonight, and it's an archaeology class, and my professor is a very thorough man who...
He plays Destiny?
No, had tenure for a very long time. And we were talking about the history of the hand axe, because fuck me, that's
the tomahawk?
Basically, but we're talking a hand axe, so an actual rock that's been sharpened by chip method from,
Well, sometimes that's the only method you can do it in.
Okay, so so this is what we were talking about, and we were walking through the history of how people interpreted hand axes throughout time. And we get to the guy who decided that humans are only 6,000 years old, and then there was another guy.
There was a guy in your class?
No, one of the archaeologists.
Oh, okay.
But it was not an archaeologist. He was just relevant to like framing like how society viewed things like this and like ancient civilizations. He decided that the day in which the Earth like was established for humans in like a biblical sense was in October on the 23rd, 6,000 years ago.
Okay.
4004. But then there was another guy... BC, yeah. Another guy who, upon further inspection of the Bible, realized that it was actually 9 a.m. on October 23rd, 4004. So this October 23rd at 9 a.m. pour some out for human history because, 6,000 years old.
For your boys in the human history.
You talking about Destiny's coming out reminded me of that.
I mean, Destiny is a very biblical, inspiring game, and I really think that I have been touched by the Destiny gods. Anyways, enough about that.
Childhoods.
Let's talk about the topic of the show. I think we've
dicked around.
We haven't had a gaming topic in a while, so I really wanted to splurge a little bit on that for all the gaming guys out there. Yvonne will be back, and maybe we'll talk about more games. Or maybe we'll have a podcast if he hasn't come back by the time I get back from Tennessee, which will be the week after this airs. Maybe we'll go over gaming news and see what Nikki thinks about it. I'll bring up all the gaming news I can think of in the recent times, and then we'll see how Nikki reacts. It'll probably be like, oh, that's interesting.
Sure.
Very good.
Okay.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so Nikki, our topic of the show is crazy childhood memories. That is the thing I came up with on the spot, and that is what we're going to talk about.
All right.
So Nikki, you're the guest. Would you start us off? I mean,
yeah.
You're asking what did I want from this?
Yeah, like what do you mean, like what constitutes a crazy child? Because I feel like my childhood was very unstable.
When you think of your childhood,
yeah,
and I would rather a positive story or something.
I mean, when I say unstable, I don't mean necessarily
but just
like all
an exciting event.
Okay.
Or like this shit was crazy, yo.
I think
when you think of your childhood, what's the first story?
I mean,
or
like
memory. It's a memory.
There are very clear things that like come to mind when I think of my childhood, and one is I moved to 3 different states before I finished 5th grade.
That's pretty crazy.
So that to me is a very like clear part of my childhood. But the most distinct time that I moved was from Long Island, New York, specifically Selden, New York, to High Point, North Carolina.
That's a long move.
That is a long move.
But they do say moving down the street is just the same as moving cross borders.
It's just as stressful. But I will say for 6-year-old Nikki, it was a massive culture shock because for months my parents had been talking to my brother and I, who's a year older than me, about how different things were in North Carolina and how, people would talk a little bit slower and they had a little bit of a different accent. And yes, they do. But what we didn't expect was when I got there, and it was my first day, halfway through the year of 1st grade, and I was greeted by literally the entire class just came at me when I walked in because they were all expecting me, which is a lot for a kid who the teacher couldn't remember my name in my other class. And they greeted me with one of those
That's where she put it last time.
Paper chain like necklaces, like the paper that's like wrapped in little loops and just linked together. But all over it were little like Jesuses and crosses and like Jesus symbols.
That's cool.
It was a lot.
That shouldn't be in the classroom, but
it
that's
was a
cool.
lot because I was not raised religiously.
Was it a Catholic school?
No, it was a public school.
All right, not cool.
And it was
Sorry.
It was like aggressively religious. So like, we're so glad God brought you here to us. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about because my parents don't talk about these things. So I'm just like, I think my face probably looked like
Got him.
And it was a lot. Because everyone talked real slow with a lot of drawl, and I was just not ready for it.
To all our listeners in the South,
no
you
offense,
guys are
you guys
awesome.
are fantastic.
It was just this one anecdotal incident. Maybe it's not all like that. We don't know.
No. But like, for a kid who's used to a fast northern accent, even being prepared for it, it was very different.
A wicked accent.
It was very jarring.
Kidding. That's Boston.
There's nothing wrong with it. I have a lot of friends who have Southern accents. I slip into a Southern accent because I lived in the South for 17 years.
It's pretty cool. I like the Southern accent.
I love Southern. I love a lot of things about the South that only happen in the South, like being condescendingly called sweetheart. It's endearing.
What about when they're speaking? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Never
mind. Okay. I was waiting for where you were going with that.
When they say like bless your heart or bless your soul.
There are times where that is basically
in a mean way.
Basically what they're saying is, oh, bless your heart, you're a fucking idiot. Is what's being said to you right now. Much. But in the sweetest, most sugar-coated way.
Yeah, and then they hand you some sweet tea.
It's true.
And everything's fine.
I mean, you gotta, if you're in the South, dope. Get fucking sweet tea. Because I'm from New York, and I know that sweet tea doesn't fucking exist in the North because
Except
they hand
for Arizona iced tea.
They hand you that shit's dope. Obviously, they hand you a fucking $1. Iced tea with no sugar and then a dry sugar packet, and they're like, "That's a sweet tea." I'm like, that is not a sweet tea.
I like that tea without the sugar, though.
You don't like.
I like unsweetened tea.
I spent a long time in the South, so
but I will admit I do like. I will indulge in English tea with milk and 1 sugar cube. That's what I'll indulge in.
Watch out over here.
That is so delicious.
Yeah, I think as far as like just things that have very clearly stuck with me, that moment like really stood out because I had a lot of fun with my friends, obviously.
Of course.
But like
it's the South.
That was like my first day of school, and it was like maybe just after Christmas. I think that's what happened. We moved just after Christmas. It's really unclear exactly when we moved. I just remember that happening. And it was like, because no other time has it ever been that obvious. Like when I moved to Florida, no one, like literally no one gave a shit that I was a new kid. And they were just like, oh fuck, whatever, who cares?
Well, no one cares in Florida.
No, because it was 5th grade and I wasn't the tallest kid in the class or the shortest kid in the class.
You're just a kid in the class.
So exactly. Unless I was the tallest kid in the class or the shortest kid in the class, 0 fucks. But that was my my most vivid like childhood memory. The next one after that.
No, keep going. Keep going.
Was also in North Carolina. It was the second summer we lived there, so we had moved to a new apartment complex that had like a special road just for the kids to play on. You know, it was closed and we were allowed to ride our bikes and everything. And it was right behind my brother and I, like our backyard. So we were like, fuck yeah, we got the dope backyard. Thinking like,
pretty sick backyard.
We're killing it over here. We got a fucking woods right there. We got a closed road. We got sunflowers. What? Yeah, we had them. And my mom,
that's pretty sick.
My mom was like, you guys need to come in. You're done playing. And my brother and I were like, we want to play. We just want to ride our bikes. And my mom's like, no, come inside. And we're like, we're going to ride our bikes. And we were 7 and 8.
Got him.
You know this isn't going to end well.
It's because I've heard this story before.
It's true, you have. It's like the most injured I've ever been in my life. Spoiler alert. So my brother and I were outside riding our bikes. I pull off to the side of this closed off road and I'm hit, like my tire is touching the curb. I'm on at this point I could ride a 2-wheeler bike with no training wheels. It was, you know, it had gears. I was living my best life.
Sick.
Pretty sure it was a pink bike because obviously I was 7 and it was the 90s. And my brother was racing the neighbor kid. You know, they're on their bikes and they're speeding down. I stopped. I'm tying my shoe. My bike is perpendicular to the street. So my brother is coming at me from the other angle. I'm tying my shoe. Don't see my brother coming. He nails my back tire. We're talking the rim bent into a 90-degree angle.
Yeah,
like just destroyed my bike. I flew off of my bike and hit my face and just slid.
Oh my god.
For like a while.
Do you have any scars?
I do actually. Like right, you see the little cut on my yeah. And I lost a permanent tooth.
GG.
I had a
you
cut. You
couldn't break your fall?
I think like impact just shocked me. I was very small, so like I'm lucky that more didn't happen. There was a cut on my forehead, and I scraped all of the skin off of this middle finger. And I still have, like, cuts, like, you know, marks all over my hands.
I got cuts on my hands,
yeah,
too.
but, like, from that. So we're talking, you know, 21 years ago that this happened.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a gash that happened on my knee.
These are probably 21 years old, too.
Oh, I'm sure.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, my brother, I don't remember anything. I remember pulling over to tie my shoe, and that is it. Lights out for Nikki.
You're done.
Until I have a vision of me bleeding all over my dad's white shirt. That's all I remember until I wake up, like, the next day.
So weird sometimes you remember things in third person. I think the things that you remember in third person, actually, I think all my memories are in third person.
Right.
So maybe that's just the way I construct memories, but I feel like some of the memories that you think of in third person are just
they've been retold
they're
to
false. Yeah, they're false memories. So you didn't actually remember them
because I don't
remember
going to the hospital. I don't remember my brother
There you go.
wailing outside of our. Now it's important to know that our backyard literally faced where I was lying motionless, covered in blood. So my brother is just screaming for my parents, thinking that he killed me. Because he's 8, and again, you know, forehead wounds, so it was just all over my face, and there was, like, cuts here, and I didn't look good. It was not, I mean, like, I think I've recreated that look in a Halloween picture, but, like, it was not my best day. And my parents were obviously unhappy because they came outside, and my mother was one of those moms who's like, I told you not to play! I told you something bad was gonna happen! I was like, okay, but we just wanted to ride our bikes, and, you know, next thing you know is I'm lying face down in the gravel with gravel in my face, so you win some, you lose some. I do ride bikes, though, so no long-lasting, like, bike fear out of that one. Although I do casually like to remind my brother that he almost killed me and did ruin my face, so, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, just little digs every now and then. But yeah, he told me, he was like, I honestly thought you were dead.
Yeah, you could have been.
I could have been, actually. I had a concussion. I wasn't allowed to sleep for more than, like, 2 hours, which meant my dad wasn't allowed to sleep for more than 2 hours. I couldn't focus on anything.
Ah, come on.
I literally
Sonic
slammed my head into
Hedgehog.
the ground.
All right.
But yeah, that was, like, my next craziest memory there is... I think all of the things that I remember from my childhood are just, like, kind of getting hurt or, like, slightly startling things that have happened.
Well, Nikki, I'll tell you, my childhood was pretty lame. So that's the end of the podcast, and thanks so much for coming on, guys.
No.
All right.
No, you've got some good stories.
Well, the only ones that come to mind right now are from high school, from when I was in high school. So I guess you take it you're still a child in high school. Fuck you, childhood.
You're talking about, like,
kids.
the summer right before you started high school, right?
Sure. Yeah, there's that one.
Yeah.
I've got 2. I'll tell 2.
Okay.
Right? The first one, we'll go in chronological order.
Okay.
The first one, maybe I've told on I don't think I've told on the podcast. We haven't had this topic come up, but maybe I had said on the podcast before. I know, there's puppies in the background. It's so relevant. But, yeah, so one night, I was in, I think this was the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. Mm-hmm. So we must have been around 13 or 14. Yeah, that must be when we did. Or else it was just a warm night on when we were during the year. So I must have been 14 at the time. But because my birthday is early in the year. So so I was hanging out with one of my friends at his cousin's place on 51st Street in Manhattan. That's where we were. And we were just being hype little kids. We loved playing video games. Obviously, that's part of the reason why we bonded so much, why we were friends. So we were playing Halo. We were playing, because he had an Xbox and I didn't own one. We were playing Super Smash Bros. Melee. You know, all the fucking newest games that came out during that year or whatever, or around that time. Super Smash Bros. Melee came
Shit
out
was
in
hype.
2001.
It was lit.
when we were 10, so it's 4 years old this time. But Melee is always relevant because that's one of the best games ever created. But yeah, so we played a whole bunch of fucking games. We had the time of our fucking lives, all right? We were getting hype. We ordered some Chinese food. We had the General Tso's chicken. I think we were jumping around. We had some soda. This is back when I drank soda. I don't drink soda anymore.
No.
But we were bouncing off the walls because she had a basement where we had the video games set up, and there was a bed down there too. So she couldn't hear us at all. So we were just having a great fucking time. All right, two little boys having the time of their lives, having the time of their lives. Little boys.
No, this is not a...
Look, it's not pervy if I'm talking about myself and my friend, all right? We were just little boys. I'm sorry. We were just little boys having a grand old time, playing video games in a basement in New York City, having a great time, eating all the food we want, jumping around. We had cereal because fuck yeah, we had cereal. It's midnight. We have cereal when we fucking want. I think it was around midnight at this point, where we were still hype out of our fucking minds, and we were super restless because we had a lot of sugar. So my friend looks into the closet because he said, "There's some rollerblades in here. We're gonna have some fun tonight." And so I don't even know if that's what he said. It's so long ago.
Because now I'm picturing him saying that.
That's 12 years ago. Jeez, there's no way I remember anything that was said, except for one of the things that was said. But or some of the things that were said, which I think we still have a recording of.
Oh my
which
God,
is the
find
funniest
that.
part. I need to ask him. But basically, we were like, oh shit, we got rollerblades and there's 2 fucking pairs. We out. So we throw those bad boys on and immediately we're out the door, and there's a hill on 51st Street on the west side. I think we were between 9th and 10th. And so there's a hill out there. And so I can't for the life of me, I don't know how to fucking rollerblade. And I learned when I was a kid, and I never was very good. And going down a hill, and so just standing up, I must have been drunk at this point. Who fucking knows?
I mean, and you were like 14-year-old drunk.
Yeah,
it was
drunk
late,
off of sugar.
There was sugar.
We played video games.
You
we had
were
a
hype
good time.
as fuck. No one was paying attention.
Yeah.
You had rollerblades.
Yeah, so we threw those bad boys on, and I just remember the fear that, you know, that feeling when you're falling, like if you tip this chair over just too far past your
just a little.
So yeah, the jolt that they talk about in Inception that wakes them up.
Yeah.
That
kick.
that kick. So that I vividly remember every time I put the rollerblade back to use the brake. It was like just far enough. Maybe the brake was really burned out.
I hated back brakes.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not a fucking hockey player, so I don't know how to stop like putting them perpendicular like this.
Yeah.
And that would have fucking spun me out.
I got
probably,
hurt doing that a lot of times.
Yeah, so it was maybe the brake was burned out. I don't remember because it was that fucking night. So it was just far enough. I had to lean just far back enough so that I would get that jolt and be really fucking terrified.
Right.
So then I would immediately put my foot back down, and then and we're going down a hill. So I would just keep going. So the way I figured out how to stop without doing that was basically just falling on my knees.
Yeah, it's
that was
turn.
Basically it. Yeah, just like, oh god, this is already.
I used to like spin myself.
I've made some horrible decisions in my life. I've already told one in the last one, but this was probably. I mean, this wasn't that bad of a decision. It just turned out horrible. So we basically went from 9th Avenue or 10th Avenue all the way to the West Side Highway. So if you guys want to look on a map, you go for it. It doesn't really matter. Basically, there's this long bike path along the west side of Manhattan from...
Was it really well established at this time?
Yes, it was fine. It's from Lower Manhattan all the way up to 125th Street, and then even farther now. But basically, and it's all flat, and you can go as fast as you want on a bike or whatever and that stuff. And there's not really much that can stop you. So we made it all the way down there, and we decided, hey, so my friend was really into this girl at the time who we had went to school with in middle school, and they were still sort of in contact. So he's like, hey, we should go visit her. So we started making her, and she lived downtown at that time in, I guess, Tribeca. Yeah, I guess it's relevant. So in Tribeca. So we're at Midtown, and we were going to skate all the way to Tribeca with these crappy rollerblades that I barely know how to use.
Probably didn't fit well.
Who fucking knows how they fit? But basically, we were going down the highway, and the funniest thing was he kept calling her, because you still had to call people at this time. We had the flip phones. This was in 2004 or so, right? Or 6, or I don't remember. 2004 or 6, around then. So no one had a smartphone at this time. So we couldn't text people. So he kept calling her and kept getting the voicemail because it was fucking 12 at night and she was probably asleep or whatever. And so he kept leaving her voice messages because people still did that at the time.
How many did he leave?
He probably left 4 or 5. And he left like captain. He would say captain's log. No, that was a different story. But
I'm so mad now.
I don't even remember what the exact story with that one is. But he left voice messages on updates and where we were and kept telling the story. So that's why I really want those voice recordings, because I want the real story. I'm telling you what I remember, guys, but we need to play those voice recordings for you guys on the podcast. Tell us if you want that in the comment section below. Maybe I'll track them down. But basically,
I've just got so many images in my head right now.
The best part is, I mean, I fell a couple times along the way, but no big deal. I'm 14 years old. I'm gonna bounce right up. We're all elastic when we're 14. We're rubber at that point.
Actually, yeah, your bones are green. It's a technical thing. Where
Exactly.
They just haven't actually
See, she
become
knows.
as firm
She
as
knows.
they are now.
But anyways, and that's the surprising part when you get to the end of the story. Spoiler alert: we made it all the way to Tribeca. So that's about. We rollerbladed 2 miles, I think, around.
Maybe more.
2 to 3 miles, guys.
No.
We rollerbladed in the middle of the night.
2 boys.
And 2 little boys rollerblading. And what takes me down in the worst way? My friend, he's just really good at making things look epic. So we get to the end of the sidewalk where there's the ramp for the handicapped people or people in wheelchairs, and he's like skating around because he can do all these cool things on a rollerblade because he's a skilled person.
He's also like highly coordinated.
Yeah, and very coordinated person. And so he goes down. He's like, "Oh, sick! I'm gonna do this sick jump down this ramp," and he like jumps up and then lands on the ramp. I mean, it wasn't super sick.
I mean, it was probably a bunny hop.
It looked really fucking sick to me. So I was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds so cool, man. I'ma follow you." And then I was just gonna roll down. So I do roll down, but of course I have no balance on rollerblades or in general. So, and as you know from me barely being able to use the brake and then not being able to use the brake.
Yeah.
So I'm going down, but I'm keeping my body basically straight, and that I was going too fast down the ramp.
Right.
And so I fall back, but
didn't bail.
But I didn't bail, and I land on my ankle so that my ankle is perpendicular to the ground, and I land on top of my ankle and completely snap it. And holy shit.
Did he snap it?
I snapped my right ankle and broke that shit.
Yep.
So,
how'd you get home, Julien?
this definitely was. This was within either the first couple weeks of high school or the summer before high school.
Yeah.
And so we basically, I have no fucking clue I know how we got home.
Yeah.
We basically, he was like, "Oh man, are you alright? Oh no, it's such a bad situation. You'll be alright though, let's get up." And I tried to stand on it. GG, man, I could not stand on that. Do not try to stand on a broken ankle. So I couldn't stand on it, obviously. And somehow we hailed a cab at probably 2 in the morning in Tribeca. This
being
is the
little
one,
boys. In
being
the middle of
little
the night,
boys.
with this one, like...
This is one good thing about New York City. There is always transportation no matter where you are at any time. So luckily a cab came by. Well, if you're in Manhattan, there is. Luckily a cab came by and picked us up. And he must have known what had happened.
He probably saw it happen.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, what probably happened is this guy, who probably has kids about your age, right?
Yeah.
Sees your dumb self fucking go down, sees all the color drain from your face, sees you try to stand up with, like, tears probably welling in your eyes, and goes... Yeah, I'm not gonna get paid for this one.
Yeah, either my friend had some cash on hand, or he ran into the apartment, got some cash from his cousin, and then paid him. I don't really remember because it's all a blur at this point because it was 12 years old, 12 years old story.
Yeah.
And 12 years old essentially. But yeah, so I remember we got home. I was laying down. Ankle was pretty much the size of a tree trunk.
Oh, yeah.
A small tree trunk.
That elephant trunk right there.
Yeah, basically that elephant's foot was my ankle. I had cankle syndrome, and then my friend is like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put some Tiger Schulmann's on it. You'll be jumping on it in the morning. And no, I wasn't jumping on it in the morning. I just remember him saying that. It was the funniest thing in hindsight.
I can see it though. It's just like, no, this is gonna work. This is gonna work.
Yeah, because
right?
it always worked.
You're 14
it always
and
fucking
you're just
worked.
like,
Tiger
man,
Schulmann's
this is what
is
my mom
the god
says
cream.
when she's in pain. This is what this is what all adults do when they're in pain, right? Like, no.
But
broken.
yeah, so I call up my mom in the morning, and she was real pissed off. Obviously, any mom would be incredibly worried. We went to the ER, and luckily we got in pretty quickly. I got crutches and all that stuff. Oh, the funniest part was I lived in an older building at the time, and we had a freight elevator that you literally had to manually operate. I love that elevator. That elevator was really cool. You never saw it, obviously.
Scare me.
It was a super cool elevator. You had to hold down 2 buttons at the same time, and then it would go up, and then you had to manually let go in order to stop at the exact right spot where you needed to get off. And so I was a fucking master with that thing. And then towards, I guess, a couple years in, every now and then, we had to lightly press the emergency bell button that would do the siren thing. We had to lightly press that as well in order to get the elevator to go. And obviously there was no way to call this elevator because it's manually operated. So if it was ever taken up to, say, the 4th floor, you either had to call the neighbor or walk up the stairs. And so at this point, though, we were in the middle of renovating the place and taking that elevator out and putting in a regular elevator. So there was no elevator, and we lived on the 5th floor. So I had to walk up the stairs in crutches. Oh, man, I remember that. That was bad. And then to add insult to injury, I was just going into high school, and this was back when it wasn't cool to put your hair up like I have now. And I essentially had the same length hair. So I was just going to a new high school. We've already explained that in high school in New York City, you have to apply and all this stuff. It's like going to college. And you could end up being in a high school where you don't know anyone, which is exactly what I did. So I didn't know anyone at this high school. And I had this stupid hair that was coming out to here. I guess I'll show it to the people what it looks like.
Shake it out and show them, baby.
Yeah, so, and I didn't look cool because I didn't have this sick-ass mustache and sweet facial hair that I have now. I had the peach fuzz. I had this crazy poofy hair that's like this, but it's exactly like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you gotta watch the video for this. Sorry, guys. Very long. It basically goes from my ears to my shoulders, but the tip of my shoulders. So it's very poofy, my hair. And then... So you have to imagine this. I'm 14 years old. I know no one. I look stupid. And on top of that, I have a fucking broken leg that now I have a walk. I eventually got a walking cast on, but I was in crutches the first couple days of school, and I knew no one.
Mm-hmm.
That was the worst way to start off your high school career. And it didn't get any better from there. I don't know. That was the peak of my high school career.
Oh, shit.
And but yeah, so that's who I was in high school. We've gone on 50 minutes. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Let's.
I'm gonna say, you got any quick little
I don't have any quick stories because stories should never be quick.
I was gonna say I've got like a little like
there should never be a
baby
TLDR.
baby ankle injury. When I was roughly the same age, is 8th grade, so I was like 13, 14. And I was on the trampoline with a couple people at a friend's birthday party. And this kid, Patrick, was about 6'4", skinny, but like still like an appropriate weight for someone who is 6'4", so maybe like, I don't know, 160, 170, you know. And I'm 5'4", and I was probably 100 pounds at the time. So Patrick and I are bouncing on the trampoline, just bopping along, and he decides to double jump. And I hit the wrong swing of the jump. Mm-hmm. So I came down, I landed on my ankle bone, and then Patrick landed on my ankle. So I was already in a rolled ankle situation, and then I had a man who was almost double my weight land on my ankle after that.
GG ankle.
And it hurt really bad. He did not help me get into the house, so he left it up to my two friends who tried really hard to carry me into the house, but they're, 13-year-old girls, and they were doing the best they could, which it was not the best. My friend's dad is a nurse, so he taped up my ankle and stuff, but my parents refused to take me to the emergency room. So I limped for 3 months until my ankle kind of reset itself. But yeah, I was actually one of 2 or 3 times that kid mildly injured me. My finger is still fucked up from that time at the beach. I hate him.
Stop flipping off the people.
That was to him. It wasn't to you guys. You're fine viewers
and listeners
and lovely turtles flowing in the background.
Look, tell us in the comment section below about your stories. You can send them in either in the comment section below on YouTube. You can tweet them at us if you can fit it in.
Leave them in an iTunes review.
Or you can type us. You can leave them in an iTunes review. We don't care as long as you give us 5 stars. Or you can type us a novel on email. Via email at gaminghungover@gmail.com.
Give me something to read on the train.
And also tell us if you think we went too short. You want to hear more stories. If you like these stories, tell us if you want us to do it again. We can also get Yvonne to tell us his childhood stories.
It's true.
I'm sure he has plenty.
I was going to say, leave things you want people to talk about and what combinations of people you want to talk. Do you want me, Julien, and Yvonne to do a podcast together? Do you want me and Yvonne to do a podcast where we make fun of Julien? Do you want just Julien and Yvonne to come back? Let us know. Yeah. Because Yvonne might be dead.
Absolutely.
Yvonne.
So maybe we won't get Yvonne back. All right, we're shooting too high. I don't know if Yvonne's coming back.
Rip Yvonne.
Because Turkmenistan, I've never been there, so
I
can't comment. I don't think it's a real place. Yeah. But yeah,
just kidding.
Tell us. Yeah, thanks to all the Turkmenistanian viewers and listeners out there. You guys are awesome. But tell us in the comment section below if you want us to continue this topic. I definitely have 2 more at least that could go on for a while.
I have plenty of stories.
And but tell us if you think this was a stupid topic also. Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for coming out, guys, and listening and viewing the podcast. Of course, our podcast ends every single week in a song in a segment called Hungover Radio. This is the segment where you, the viewer or listener, can send in your music to gaminghungover@gmail.com, or you can get in contact with us via social media. It's all in the comment section below, etc., description. All right, I'm not going to say it. It gets exhausting, but you can tweet at us at gaminghungover. You can follow me at GGBsgood. You can follow her.
Nikki TV.
It's in the description below. You can follow Yvonne Bach in the USSR. It's actually pretty clever. That's his last name. Now you know his last name, but also at the USSR because he's Russian.
All right.
He likes to say, and he was born in the Soviet
Union. So we
Union.
got a song for you this week. What is it, Julien?
Yeah, okay. You can send in your music, whether you wrote, produced, written, etc., played an instrument on, sang, or your friend. It's literally free advertisement for you guys. And we also want to share it with the Hungover Gaming community. I think that would be really cool. So please actually send us music.
It's
of
true.
course, this is like the 40th week in a row that we haven't gotten music. We had one song once, and it was really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was really happy about it. And then we never got another song.
Look, are you a
I thought
SoundCloud
that-
rapper? Now is your
Yeah,
time.
this is it.
Get your music out there.
This is it. Oh
Give it
my
to
God.
us. We'll play it for people. Come on. I know you're all out there. I'm always
And-
getting mixtapes.
And if you have a friend that doesn't listen to this podcast, tell them to listen to it, and
Yeah.
then they'll find out about this whole process.
Exactly.
It's free advertisement.
All
It's
right,
really
what song
easy.
did you pick,
MP3
though,
links.
Julien?
I picked, so if no one sends in a song, I usually pick a song, and it's gonna be from a video game because I love video games, and I'm telling you, there's some fucking good music in video games. So today we're gonna be playing some music from Castlevania, one of the greatest games of all time, or at least one very influential.
That's a great word.
That is a word.
Fantastic.
Influential
PhD student
video
over here.
game. Hey, I didn't say I'm getting a PhD in English, all right? All right? It's not like okay. Anyways, now it's very influential because it's a side scroller, but it also allowed people to backtrack within the whole game, and that was sort of unheard of except for Metroid. So the whole term Metroidvania sort of describes this type of game where you start off with very few abilities and there's a whole bunch of secrets and maybe a Castlevania. You get new abilities, you come back, and you unlock these secrets. It's super cool gameplay. Go check it out. It came out of the NES. This song is called Vampire Killer, and it's one of my favorites, actually. So I hope you guys enjoy this song. I'm Julien.
I'm Nikki.
And this is the Hungover Gaming Podcast, otherwise known as the Hungover Podcast. Go ahead and check out all our other content, and we'll catch you guys next week. Peace out.